Everyone thinks Nokia died. They're wrong. What if I told you that Nokia's spectacular failure in smartphones was actually the best thing that ever happened to them? That losing a $150 billion market cap wasn't death, it was a strategic rebirth? By the end of this video, you'll see why Nokia in 2025 is more powerful than Nokia at its peak. But first, we need to understand how the world's most dominant phone company made a decision so catastrophic, it became a Harvard Business School case study. Here's what everyone thinks happened. Nokia was arrogant. They rejected Android because they thought it wouldn't succeed. Samsung embraced it. Samsung won. Nokia lost. The end. Except that's not what happened at all. Nokia CEO Stephen Elop later revealed something shocking. They didn't reject Android because they underestimated it. They rejected it because they understood it too well. Elop said, quote, "We were worried about the very high risk that one hardware manufacturer could come to dominate Android." And guess who dominated Android? Samsung, exactly who they feared. Nokia's prediction was perfect. Their execution was the problem. But here's what nobody talks about. The Android decision wasn't even the real killer. Researchers who studied Nokia's collapse discovered something chilling. They called it organizational fear. Middle managers were so terrified of losing status and resources that they actively hid bad news from executives. One manager admitted, "There were situations where everybody knew things were going wrong, but we were thinking, why tell top managers?" Let that sink in. People knew the ship was sinking and said nothing. Get this. Nokia had touchscreen prototypes years before the iPhone. They had the technology, they had the talent. But innovation died in the hallways because middle management was playing Game of Thrones instead of building phones. While Apple had small teams moving fast, Nokia had bureaucracy moving information upward like molasses. By the time executives understood the threat, it was too late. The iPhone wasn't just a better phone. It was proof that Nokia's entire organizational structure was obsolete. But here's where the story gets interesting. While everyone was writing Nokia's obituary, Nokia was quietly positioning itself for something bigger. Something that would make the smartphone wars look like child's play. Fast forward to 2025. Nokia just posted 9% net sales growth. They're targeting operating profits between 2.7 and 3.2 billion euros by 2028. And here's the kicker. They're not selling phones. They're selling the infrastructure that makes your phone work. Think about it. Nokia now owns the networks for 5G. They own Bell Labs, the legendary innovation center that invented the transistor, the laser, and Unix. They're building the backbone for AI data centers. While Samsung and Apple are fighting over consumer upgrades every year, Nokia is signing decade-long contracts with telecom operators worth hundreds of millions. And get this, Nokia earns patent royalties from every smartphone company that beat them. Samsung pays Nokia, Apple pays Nokia. They're collecting rent from their former competitors. The smartphone market became a commoditized race to the bottom. Profit margins razor thin. Consumer loyalty non-existent. But enterprise infrastructure? High margins. Long-term contracts, sticky relationships. Nokia isn't fighting for teenagers' attention anymore. They're building the nervous system of the digital economy. Here's my contrarian take, and this is what nobody else is saying. Nokia in 2025 is more strategically positioned than Nokia in 2007. In 2007, they were kings of a market about to be disrupted. In 2025, they're building infrastructure for AI, 5G, and the next generation of computing. They're not vulnerable to the next iPhone, they're enabling it. The smartphone failure freed Nokia from a brutal hardware war and allowed them to dominate where it actually matters. They're not selling to consumers who switch brands for a discount. They're selling to hyperscalers and telcos who need them. So was Nokia's failure actually genius? No. They made catastrophic mistakes driven by fear and bureaucracy. But sometimes losing a battle positions you to win a different, better war. Nokia's story isn't about failure. It's about transformation. They lost the battle everyone was watching and won the war nobody noticed. And that might be the most valuable business lesson of the 21st century. If you enjoyed this different take on Nokia's story, hit that subscribe button. And drop a comment, do you think Nokia's transformation was luck or strategy? I'll see you in the next one.